Hey guys, what's going on? This is Atharva here, and in this video we are going to look at Codux. Codux is a tool created by Wix which allows you to visually edit and create new React components into your application. And it's a very handy tool because you can pick each component and you can customize the way they look, and you can even see how they look beforehand before even adding them to your application. And you can do all of this without writing a single piece of code. So it's still in beta. There are still a lot of lacking features and there might be a little bugs here and there, but I think it's a good way forward for all the backend developers who don't like to write CSS and they still want to go into front end. So yeah, that's a very good start. And Codux is free for the beta period, so you don't need to pay anything to get started. Okay, so we are on the Codux website. We are on codux.com. I'll leave the link in the description. As it says, React meet your first visual IDE. I don't know if it's the first or not, but let's accept the word. It says visually edit projects side by side with your code editor. See every change reflected instantly and get your work done faster. So as it says, like you can visually edit projects and even you can create components and stuff. So if you want to try it out, you need to download it. So you can just do download Codux and it will take you to this page where you can download for your operating system. Currently it's supported for all the major ones. I use macOS with Apple Silicon, so I just clicked on this one. If you're using Windows, make sure you click this one. Just download it, install it, and then you will be asked to log in with your account. So I just use Google authentication. You can use whatever you want to. So yeah, let's go into the app now. So now we are inside Codux, and as you can see, we don't have any projects yet, but we can go ahead and create a new project. If you already have a Vite project, you can always open the local project and import it. I tried it using nextjs, but I couldn't get it to work. If you can, just let me know in the comments how you got it to work and I'll pin your comment. So let's go to new project, and then we have a lot of different templates here. We have Cloud Cache, we have Codux, we have cards. We'll do all of that, but I want to show you the simplest blank template first, and then we will go to all of these, at least one of these, to see how they work and play around with them. So we can just click on the Vite one, and now we can name our project. I'm just going to name it Codux YT. I already have the path chosen here. If you don't align with the path, you can always choose, and it will create the folder with the name of this, and it will create your Vite project inside. So let's click on create, and now we should be here in our boards. It's taking some time. Let's wait for this. Yeah, now after they have created a Vite application, we also need to install the dependency of the application. So let's click on run, and it will start installing the dependencies using npm. It might take a while, so sit tight. For me, it just finished it in an instant. So I'll just click on close, and now we have these boards. So boards you can think of as pages and components as just components. So if we can go in app board, it's loading, just a moment. You can see that there is an app component here. Here you can see there is an app component, and if you double click on it, you can see different things inside the app component. And if you click on the code tab here, you can see the code for this component. Very handy, and you can also edit the code here and get all the changes here. So I'll put this down and let's work with this. How do I scroll? Yeah, now you can always zoom in. I think this zoom is better, and now you can see a lot of different things. You have this button. It already detects that it's a button because it uses a button tag. You can click it. You can go into styles, and there's a lot of different stuff here. There is no selector. I don't know why. Yeah, there is a selector. There is a class name. Actually there is a directly a selector for the tag, like the button, and it also gives a warning that this may also affect other elements. So now we can go ahead and see all of these things which are available. we can see all of these different stylings here. These also resonate with the CSS stylings for this button. So all the things that are in the CSS will reflect here. For example, the padding, you can also change the padding for this. So if I have the bottom padding as, I guess, like 1.2, it will reflect here. As you can see, it got a little padding here, but we don't need 1.2, we just need 0.6 or it will look ugly. Let's just leave it right there. Let's try to see background color. Background, I guess this has something to do. Let's create a new layer. Yeah, that's how you can edit the background color of this button. I don't know what's wrong, why I didn't pick up the gray color, but remember that this is in the beta, or I'm doing wrong here, but this is just how this works. So like you can see these 4 icons. What if you wanted to place them vertically instead of horizontally? I know practically you wouldn't want to do that, but what if? So let's go to div. This is the div that contains all the 4 things. Now let's, without typing any code, let's try to make them vertically aligned. So what you can do is you can create a new class for this. You can just call it logo container, I guess. Logo container. I won't look at the naming conventions right now because we just want to test this thing out. So in typical conditions, you would need to look at the naming conventions. So here what we are going to do, first of all, we need to change the flex. So first of all, we need to make it a flex. So display. Okay, I cannot type. Display, and this should be flex, and now we need to have the flex direction. So flex direction, yeah, it should be vertical. That means column. Yeah, it says that it's a column. If we do that, as soon as we do that, we can see that everything is vertically aligned here as far as the logos are concerned, and everything else is down here. So yeah, this is just the basic usage of Codux. We are not going to go ahead and create an entire application using it just yet. If you want to see me do that, make sure you leave that in the comments below, and I'll make sure to create an entire app just using Codux. Of course, you cannot write logic using Codux, but all the components I can create just using Codux. Leave that comments. I want to see all the comments down below. So yeah, now let's look at the pre-built components Codux has made, and let's try to play around with them. Okay, let's try to mess with the Cloud Cache project here in the template. So let's just leave the name, let's just leave the location and just create. Again, we will be probably asked to install some dependencies. So let's wait for the prompt to appear, and then we'll install the dependencies and have a look at every component here. So let's run install. Let's wait. It will take a while. Yep, it's done. Now you can see there are a lot of different components here. Actually boards which have different components actually. So it seems like, yeah, it's still loading, so we cannot just see yet. Yeah, so it seems like that boards are not necessarily just screens, but also like component that can hold different components. And if you want to create a context for your component to fill in, so that, like, for example, let me give you an example. If a component has 100% width, and if you want to show that, if you want to look at that component in the context of a component which is 100 width component, maybe that's when you use boards. Boards are basically not included in your project code at all. Boards are just local to Codux, and they store in the node modules or some other folder which is temporary, and that doesn't really affect your code at all. It's just for representation purpose. So you can see there are a lot of different things here. I'm trying to look at some interesting ones. So we have this credit card, then we have credit card SVG. So damn, it literally has a lot of pages. So what if we go into the app page? I believe the app page is the main boss page. So let's open that. Okay, so this is this app page, and let's zoom out a little bit. If we double click the app component, we should see all of the components here. So the dashboard layout is a component which has children, which has two sections. So the dashboard component seems to have a sidebar and just the page content. So if you look at the sidebar, you can see a lot of different things. So these must be these have the children layout. So these must be components which are passed through the props of this nav tag, and that's why they appear like this. But you can probably change how they look. So if you go here and go to the children, you can see all of the nav items. So for example, if you want to change the name of this, you can go here and probably you can change the edit code, I guess. Yeah, maybe you can change the name here. I don't know why it's not coming here, but yeah, maybe because it has two children, that's why it's not showing. But you can simply change the name here. You can just call it transactions, or you can just call it in out. I don't know. I'm just typing whatever comes in my mind. But I just wanted to show how this thing works. Now, if we save this, yeah, it appears here in out. And yeah, then we have this credit card component. If we keep double clicking, we have I don't know how is it supposed to work, but let's try to get into this component forcefully. Okay, let's not try to do that. Let's find the credit card component here. Okay, so now we have the credit card component. Let's try to change the number. Yeah, let's edit the code, and the card number starts with, okay, so it's passed through props. Okay, so about props, if you select the component right here, you can see all of the props in the right side of your screen. It will take some time to get used to if you're using this for the first time when using the examples, because these are basically complex projects for you to play around with. Of course, you don't know the structure of the application, so it's going to be a little messy for you to navigate through this. For example, like me, I didn't have a script planned. I didn't have anything planned for this video. I just came on the camera and wanted to see Codux and how it works in front of you and show you the raw experience of how a first time user would feel. So this is a very good thing. You can have props on the right hand side. You can change the name. For example, for cardholder name, I could have Atharva Devastale, and it would appear right here. So let's wait for this. Yeah, it kind of broke the component, but let's keep it at Atharva. You can have the card number starts with, I could have 1 2 3 4. No, this is not my real card number, but don't try to do something stupid anyways. So yeah, you can also change all of these different things, and you can also have the logo as a string. I'll just say Atharva Bank, and it will just appear right here, and it will be changed in the code. As you can see the code now, the props are Atharva Bank and all of the different details are entered, and it will be made, all of the changes will be made to the code directly, so you don't need to worry about syncing things here and there and stuff. And you can also commit your changes through here using Git. So yeah, that's how Codux works. It might get some time for you to get used to it. I would recommend creating a new project and try to create a few components like navbar and stuff. If you want me to create a detailed tutorial about Codux, make sure you leave a comment below. This was just an introductory tutorial. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, that's it for this video. I know this video might be a little too messy for you, but I tried to create a raw experience for how to first get started with Codux and how I felt. For me, it was pretty easy for the basic thing, but for the templates, of course, it's going to be hard because it's not something you have worked with. And navigating around a new application for the first time and on a very difficult, not a very difficult code base, but very unfamiliar code base is a little difficult at start. But once you get used to it, it's going to be pretty easy. I'll say that definitely needs a few improvements here and there, but I guess it's just fine. It's still in beta, and it, according to a beta, it's giving good results. It also has some tailwind templates as well if you want to look at it, so it's going to be pretty amazing for you to play around with this thing. If you want me to create a detailed project using Codux, leave it in the comments below. I don't want to commit to a project that nobody wants to see, so that's why I'm asking you to do that. If you like this video, make sure you click the like button, click the subscribe button, and if you want your friends to have insane knowledge about web development, make sure you share this video with your friends, and make sure you make this video popular in the algorithm so that I am motivated to create such content for you. So yeah, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.